I
real?
can hear you.
So who's the real president of this country? Is it Joe Manchin or Joe Biden, Madam Vice President?
Come on, Charlamagne.
I really,
Come on. It's Joe Biden.
I can't
No,
tell
no, no, no,
sometimes.
no. It's Joe Biden. And don't start talking like a Republican about asking whether or not he's president.
Do you think Joe Manchin
And,
is a
and
problem?
it's Joe Biden, and I'm vice president, and my name is Kamala Harris.
What's going on, Rebel family? Today's video, even VPs use sign language. But before we get to the video, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to the channel. So, Vice President Kamala Harris, she made a trip over to the God's Honest Truth show hosted by Charlamagne Tha God on Comedy Central, and she had some interesting takes in terms of um, replying to a legitimate question that she was asked I think the interview lasted about 20 something minutes, and it took towards the end, maybe the last 5 minutes, that Charlemagne was asking actually uh, relevant questions, because all of the questions beforehand were softball questions. But she didn't like the I guess she didn't like the questions, and her Mammy Simone Sanders was, running her, doing her fullback, or excuse me, her blocking for the running back thing again. But let's go ahead and check out that video real quick.
Who's the superhero that's going to speak against Joe Manchin? No. I want to know who's the real president of this country. Is it Joe Biden or Joe Manchin?
Okay, so let me set this up. So now this is like the third time that Simone Sanders tried to intervene here, to where she said, "Hey, we have to wrap, Charlemagne. We have to wrap. We have to go." She said it before. Charlemagne started asking questions about why isn't Joe Biden actually why isn't he doing anything about the student debt loan? Like, what happened to that? What happened to that promise? And Kamala Harris, she kind of ran around it. Charlemagne asked her another tough question about what the administration wasn't doing. Each time, each question, each one of these questions, Simone Sanders said, "Hey, we have to wrap. This is going to be the last question." He was like, "All right," and then he asked her two more questions. So now he's trying to get to the heart of what he feels is stalling everything in the Senate, which is a senator by the name of Joe Manchin. And I'll probably touch on politics at some point once things start heating up. But in terms of the black community is so politically naive that I don't see anything changing. And it's not about just voting for the Democrats or Republicans. It's just voting based on your interests. And black people don't seem to do that. The majority were fooled into voting Trump out and voting Biden in, but then we see exactly what Biden did for black people, which is nothing, and he did something for everybody else. But that's, like I said, that's a whole other talk show. But anyway, so now he's asking who's actually the president, because Joe Manchin, the one Democrat, he's a Democrat senator, is holding everything up. All the bills, quote unquote, this is according to Charlemagne, that the Democrats want to pass, Joe Manchin seems to vote against it, or he's the deciding vote. So he actually wields the most power in the Senate right now, right? But anyway, so let's keep going here. This is what Charlemagne is getting, and you can hear Simone Sanders in the background, saying, "Hey, we have to wrap." So.
I'm sorry, I interrupted. I don't think the vice president can hear you. It's Simone. I'm so sorry, Charlamagne. We have to wrap.
She can hear me.
You can hear me?
And I think.
Can you hear me now?
Can you?
I think this is what made Kamala Harris show who she really is, and show her real disdain for black people, because Charlemagne started laughing. It was like, "Oh yeah, they're trying to play like she can't hear me."
Hear me, Madam Vice President?
So I'm sorry. We got to wrap.
Oh.
So I'm sorry to interrupt.
They're acting like they can't hear me.
See that part right there.
I can hear you.
Oh, so who's the
I
real?
can hear you.
So who's the real president of this country? Is it Joe Manchin or Joe Biden, Madam Vice President?
Come on, Charlemagne.
Come
on. It's Joe Biden.
I can't tell sometimes.
No. It's Joe Biden, and don't start talking like a Republican about asking whether or not he's president.
Do you think?
Okay, so let me stop right there. So she got into her sister girl thing with the head bouncing and the head bobbing and rolling like, okay, I'm getting ready to get. She only does this around when she's around black people, right? And in particular on shows like Charlamagne Show or The Breakfast Club when she was on The Breakfast Club. But sign language, popularized, I guess, really by Kevin Samuels. But black men have been experiencing this for a while, and we've seen it on social media for a good while, at least for 3, 4 years, that we've understood. Hey, people are going to try to shame us into uh, abiding by the behavior that they want us to. Right? We're called homophobes or whatever, we're misogynists or misogynoir, all these different things on social media for the past at least 4 years. It was like, look, shaming tactics don't work on us, right? We didn't put it in a framework of sign language, right? Shame, insults, guilt, the need to be right. But, we understood shaming was coming. Insults, they're going to insult you. You're not smart. You're too obtuse to have this conversation. You're not whatever, insult our intelligence, shame us into their behavior, the required behavior, right? And it is so bad, the shaming in the black community, that even other black men will do it to each other. I saw a content creator, and I couldn't find it for this video, it made me think that I will probably get around to just doing a video on black men shaming other black men to try to get black men to conform to the behavior that they want them to conform to. So black men even do it to each other. They will shame each other to get you to conform to the behavior that they want you to, right? And this stuff doesn't work. So, brothers, whenever you see the shaming and insults, guilt, the need to be right, and that's what sign language stands for. Shame, insult, guilt, the need to be right, right? And Kevin mostly puts that framework around women, that women exhibit this behavior, but black men also exhibit it as well, right? Black men will shame each other. They will insult each other. They will try to guilt you into conforming to the behavior that they think is correct. And then, of course, we'll go back and forth like the useless debates between Pan-Africans about what should we call each other, right? We should call each other Africans. We should call each other black. At the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. If you call yourself African, I call myself black. Somebody else wants to call himself American. As Neely Fuller said, we're all in the bottom of the slave ship together, so it doesn't really matter. But those guys will spend countless times arguing about we should call ourselves African and this is why, and that's just the need to be right. But anyway, so they're trying to wrap it. They're trying to cut Charlamagne because they don't want him asking this question. And Kamala Harris got into her sister girl, bobbing her head, rolling her neck, bullcrap, and tried to insult him, because we heard this since 2016. If we don't vote for a Republican, if we don't vote for if we don't vote for the Democrats, then we're Republican. If we just critique the Democrat policies, if you ask a question, how is Joe Biden going to help the black community? Oh, you're a Trump supporter. We've heard this already. It doesn't work. Sorry. If you're the type of people that do that, it doesn't work. And I got to the point to where I was like, okay, if I am a Trump supporter, what can you do about it? Nothing but whine. I'm not a Trump supporter either. I'm not a Biden supporter. And that's where the majority of black men fit into this last election, that we weren't Biden supporters, we weren't Trump supporters. But if you ask questions of, the Democrat policies, oh, you're a Trump supporter. But anyway, let me play this again, because I've been talking, and like I said, it's politics stuff. It gets me riled up, but because our people just are so politically naive. Let's hear it again here.
No.
Country is it Joe man?
What's this thing? Come on.
Madam Vice President.
Come on, Charlamagne.
I really-
Come on. It's Joe Biden.
I can't
No,
tell
no, no,
sometimes.
no.
Here she go.
It's Joe Biden, and don't start talking like a
Look at that bob in
Republican
the head.
about asking whether or not he's president.
Do you think Joe Manchin is a problem?
It's Joe Biden, and I'm vice president, and my name is Kamala Harris. And the reality is, because we are in office, we do the things like the child tax credit, which is going to reduce black child poverty by 50%.
I mean, that's
on
absolute
track
lie.
to do that.
That's a lie.
We do things that are about saying that our Department of Justice is going to do these investigations.
Investigations don't help when
that we end chokeholds and have
cop
body
walk free.
cameras.
Body cameras
It
don't
is
work.
the work of saying we're going to get lead out of pipes and paint because
I mean, a body camera only shows you what happened. So if a brother's already killed or if a sister's already killed, the body camera didn't help, especially when these cops turn it off. These people think we're just so stupid at this point. Well, unfortunately, the majority seem to be. But, you know.
our babies are suffering because of that. It is the work of saying people who ride public transit deserve the same kind of dignity that anybody else does. So let's improve that system. It is the
Silly
work of
public
saying
transit.
that we have got to bring down prescription drug costs because
all these
folks
things
with
are just
diabetes
benefits
should
for
not
everybody,
be dying because
not
they don't have
specific
enough
to our
money in their
community.
pocket. It's about saying black
Or our
maternal
needs.
mortality is a real issue
That's to
that
play the
must
black
be
women.
treated by everybody, including the White House, as a serious issue. I hear the frustration, but let's not deny the impact that we've had and agree also that there is a whole lot more work to be done. And it is not easy to do, but we will not give up, and I will not give up.
Oh my
I just want you to know that Madam Vice President, that Kamala Harris, that's the one I like. That's the one that was putting the pressure on people in Senate hearings. That's the one I'd like to see more often out here in these streets. Thank you for joining us, Madam Vice President.
I'm glad to be with you. I'm glad to
Absolutely.
be with you.
Appreciate you. Give Maya my
All right.
love too, and Doug.
And Charlamagne still had
All right,
to pander
take
to
care.
her.
Give your family my love. I want to see those babies.
Absolutely. Thank you.
They seem to be pretty close there. Charlamagne still had to pander. That's the funny thing, right? Charlamagne still had to pander to Kamala Harris, even after all the neck rolling and the shaming. Don't start acting like a Republican. Like I said, that tactic is old. Let's see the neck bounce again, cause she trying to get her sister girl thing. She's trying to get her sister girl thing going here. See that neck bounce again. But anyway. So this video shouldn't have been this long, but like I said, I'll get on a tangent and start talking about politics, because just as a people, we just do things that just absolutely hurt us and set us back. I don't understand how we're gonna actually make progress as a people if we can't understand simply how American politics is being played. Quid pro quo. You do something for me, I do something for you. We give you our money and our vote. You give us legislation specifically for us, not for everybody. It's that simple. But anyway, so again, the shaming tactics, we have to start calling it out wherever we see it. And that's the only reason why I'm doing this video. Like I said, I wasn't going to get into the politics of it, but I did anyway, unfortunately, because it's so ridiculous at this point. But I'm going to get around to doing a video on the content creators in the black manosphere who actually shame each other. There's a lot of that goes on, right? People, when people start talking about, well, I'm not a victim, I'm not running the victim Olympics, that's just a shaming tactic that these brothers, and it's so ingrained in black people that, like I said, people will do it on a whim and other brothers won't call it out. In fact, they will kowtow to it. When a brother says, well, I'm not a victim, the brother will like, yeah, well, I'm not a victim either. No, nobody said he was a victim, but why are you trying to shame me because if I am a victim, then so what? Like if your car was broken into, you're a victim of car vandal or somebody vandalizing your car or breaking into your car. You're a victim. That don't mean that you're a bad person or you're a weak person. You were a victim of a crime. It is what it is, right? You know what I mean? But that doesn't mean you stay a victim. Anyway, brothers, those are my final thoughts. I mean, call out the shaming, wherever you see it. Any of the 4 shaming, insults, guilt, the need to be right. Call that out wherever you see it, and try to check your behavior that you are not shaming other brothers to try to get them to conform to a behavior that you want them to conform to, right? We have to stop shaming each other. It's just not a good look as men. Those are my final thoughts. Peace, Rebel family.